What's good? You took to the got the Duke Dennis situation. It's bad. I don't know what happened, but let's see.
Coming. It has honestly gotten to the point where I don't think I could hear anything negative about pretty much like any streamer, at least like any mainstream streamer, and be surprised about it, which is really a daunting thought, considering that these guys are influencing the youth in a massive way. What's even worse is that I think I would be genuinely shocked if I ever heard a single positive thing about any of the like top 100 streamers on the planet right now. That's probably not gonna have any like lasting effects, right? Imagine being the ripe old age of 32 and being arrested and then sued for over $1 million because you wanted to play a game of hide and seek. Now, if I'm being honest, I would really hope that the vast majority.
I'm not gonna lie. That's petty. Soon as somebody for $1 million because they play hide and seek in the mall, it's outrageous. It's literally outrageous.
Majority of you would have quite the difficult time imagining such a thing. Just doesn't really seem to be something that most people would be able to picture themselves doing, you would think. But for some out there, hopefully just a handful, there's no imagination required because it is just their reality. Recently, the streamer Duke Dennis and a few other people have found themselves in the middle of a lawsuit that's seeking over $1 million in compensation because of a game of hide and seek that went sideways. It's a wacky world we're living in, guys. So yeah, basically, if you haven't heard, back in August of 2025, Duke Dennis and some other AMP members, which if you don't know what AMP is, basically it's like a streaming collective that Duke Dennis is also a member of, were live streaming a game of hide and seek at the Shops at River Center, which is a shopping mall in San Antonio. And from what I can tell, it's
I didn't know they
a
were
vague
streaming
based off what I've read, but it does seem like they had permission to film this at this shopping center, but it looks like during them filming, they went outside the boundaries of what was agreed on, and they started filming in areas they weren't supposed to be, and also they stayed on the property past closing time. Now, that's not really what the lawsuit's about. Duke Dennis did end up getting arrested for that partially, but we'll talk about that more later. What the lawsuit is actually about is a security guard named Don White approached the streamers to tell them, hey, you can't be doing what you're doing. And because of this, a member of the AMP security team, a guy named Levon Clark, punched the mall security guard in the face. Why so many of these streamers hire these dudes?
Imagine just doing your job and about to tell them they can't do nothing and get punched in the face by their security guard. Only thing bro was doing, he was doing his job telling y'all can't do something.
Who think that they can just punch anybody who says anything that the streamer doesn't like in the face. I don't really understand. Well, I guess I do. Most modern streamers do seem like the type of people who would like to punch a person in the face if they say something that they don't like, but are too scared to do so. So, I guess that makes perfect sense, actually. But the small security guard was punched in the face for, doing his job, and he's the one who's filing this lawsuit. Like I mentioned earlier, the lawsuit is seeking over $1 million from AMP Entertainment, and while I can't find any like hard specific details about this, it seems like Duke Dennis is who the guy is trying to get the most money from, which I guess would make sense since it seems like it kind of stemmed from an interaction between him and Duke. But multiple people and entities are named as defendants in the lawsuit, including AMP Entertainment, Duke Dennis, Kai Cenat, a producer named Henry Wolf, a content manager named Joshua Pujols, and the private security guard Levon Clark. The lawsuit says that Don White suffered injuries that required emergency room treatment, and that he's seeking these damages for medical expenses, pain and suffering, and lost earning capacity. And
dang, AMP security must be working out every day because he injured you and you was a security guard. Quit your job.
And honestly, I hope he wins every single fucking dollar of it. You guys know that I'm not the biggest fan of like the modern day streaming world, and unfortunately it seems to be full of shit like this all the time. Dudes who have either never had a real job other than streaming, or dudes who have just been streaming for so damn long that they get so out of touch and entitled, and they think they can do shit like this with absolutely no repercussions. And honestly, it's just annoying as fuck. People should not be getting assaulted for doing their job because grown-ass men, dudes in their 30s, want to live stream a game of fucking hide and seek. Now, it looks like so far nobody like representing AMP or nobody that's a part of AMP has commented on any of this. They're probably being told not to. The only person who seemed to respond to anything was the attorney that's representing the security guard for AMP, and he said that Mr. Clark has and continues to maintain his innocence pertaining to these claims of wrongdoing. While only a limited amount of evidence is currently available to the public, we believe the totality of evidence will demonstrate the allegations lack merits. Which is interesting interesting because on top of the, security guard on security guard violence, authorities are also alleging that Clark interfered with the arrest and injured an officer during the confrontation. So, I mean, it doesn't look great for the guy, I feel. Right now, he's facing multiple felony charges, including 2 counts of assault on a peace officer and 1 count of assault on a security officer. Like I mentioned earlier, Duke Dennis was also arrested when all this went down, and he was charged with criminal trespassing and evading arrest, but I think eventually those charges were dismissed. He did have to spend some time in jail though, and when he got out and returned to streaming, he had this to say about this whole incident.
I know, y'all want to hear about like the whole jail.
My husband used to ejaculate prematurely until this.
My hubby is ejaculating so fast, and when he gets so anxious about it, it's starting to feel like a chore.
What the heck?
But to be honest, I can't even talk about it. Like, what I can say is like the whole thing was just a big misunderstanding, miscommunication mostly. Like the thing about us, bro, the thing about me, bro, I'm not the type of content creator that's going like risk my freedom for the content. Content ain't that deep for me. Like, it's not that deep to me. It never will be. Like I said, this was a big misunderstanding, big miscommunication.
And really, that's all he has to say about it. He does repeat himself a few more times during this comeback stream, but he just keeps referring to it as a
there's no way Duke have almost 8,000 subs and he don't even stream. Like 8,000 Twitch subs is crazy. He don't stream. That's crazy.
Communication, a misunderstanding, and maybe there was a miscommunication between the mall security and AMP's team, but I feel like, if we're being honest with ourselves here, if the whole you'd never risk your freedom for content thing is true, and it really was just a misunderstanding, the second the cops showed up, you would have been like, oh shit, this isn't worth it. Let me not evade arrest. You know what I mean? I don't know. It just seems a little contradictory to me to say something like this when a security guard for the mall walked up to you and said, hey, you can't be here. You had your security punch him in the face, and then you run from the cops when they show up. Just based off how contradictory that is, it makes me not really trust what he has to say on this incident.
He ran from his South Carolina kicked in. Hey, he's back to the old days kicked in. That military kicked in.
Anyways, I'm curious to see what comes of this. I feel like this guy has a pretty strong leg to stand on because this news article says that the security guard, the one that was assaulted, his employment status could not immediately be determined, but state records indicate that he is no longer licensed as a security officer in Texas. So, it does seem like he lost his job, maybe lost some certification based off this incident, which, surprise, surprise, definitely helps a lawsuit where you're seeking lost earning capacity. Like I said earlier, though, I really do hope that this guy wins every single dollar that he's seeking. I really feel like it is time to do away with this content strategy of basically making the public and the people trying to use the public pawns for your content. The entitlement of streamers and really just any sort of influencer or content creator these days, but I do feel like it's the worst with streamers. It's just gotten to a point where it's out of hands. Again, like I mentioned earlier, the idea of a guy being assaulted for just doing his job because a bunch of grown men wanted to play hide and seek in a mall after it closed is truthfully depressing. And I just really don't understand where these streamers get this sort of ego. I guess it's because most of them just surround themselves with yes men constantly. They're just not used to being told no. And again, like I said earlier, a lot of them have never worked a job other than just being famous on the internet, which I feel like has got to be bad for you as an adult. And it just leads to us seeing shit like this from streamers all the time. How many times have we heard about a streamer's bodyguard punching somebody for no reason? It's just out of hand, and I've said this before with other similar cases.
Hey, y'all want to go to Jack Doherty history? Hey, we don't want to talk about Jack Doherty. Talking about security. We don't want to talk about Jack Doherty.
Is where other streamers or influencers got sued. This is the only thing that's gonna matter to them. Streamers don't care about bad publicity. I feel like most streamers these days, honestly, their fame is based off of bad publicity, at least to some extent. Most of them don't care about catching a misdemeanor or a YouTuber making a video about them. They care about money. And this is the only shit that's ever gonna make it stop. So I'm all for it. Maybe one day content creation can just be normal shit again. I am not very hopeful for that though. Well guys, what are your thoughts? Like I said, maybe this was all just one giant misunderstanding. understanding one big miscommunication at first, but I don't really think it's an accident that all of these major streamers keep hiring the security guards who are willing to assault people for them. And like, yeah, I get it. That's
I'm not gonna lie. I'm about to start blazing. Do your homework on AMP. They not like Jack Doherty. This is their first time happening. So stop talking about AMP doing they hire all these security guards. This the first time. This the first time. This is the first time. Go check about Jack Doherty. You talking about, dude. Go talk about Jack Doherty. Do your homework on Jack Doherty.